So first I start with the English translation and Dhammapada. This is Dhammapada 75. It is called Vanavasit, Vanavasi Tissa Samanera. It is similar in Marathi also. Pali and Marathi, uh, some words are similar. Here, Vana means a forest. Vasi means dweller. Tissa Samanera. So this is the meaning of this Dhammapada. That Tissa, the forest dweller, it's on him. So Anya hi Labhu Panisa, Anya Nibbana Gamini, Evam Metam Abhinyaya Bhikkhu Buddhassa Savaku, Sakkaram Sakkaram Nibbana Sakkaram Nabhinedeya Vivekamu Vivekama Nubruye. So this was meaning is there are two paths indeed. The path that leads to the worldly gain and the path leads to the Nibbana. The, the bhikkhu who is fully mindful or comprehending the disciple of Buddha should not take delight in worldly gain and honor, but devote himself to the solitude. That's called detachment and the realization of Nibbana. This is the meaning. So here you can say that with the last word of this Vivekam Anubhriye, Vivekam Anubhriye. So Vivek is here, Viveka means solitary seclusion. So according to the commentary, there is a three kind of seclusions, three kinds of Viveka. First is a Kaya Viveka, that is meaning of seclusion of the body. And second is Chitta Viveka, that's a seclusion of mind from passion, human passion. Okay, that's, as we can say the greed. And Upadhi Viveka. Upadhi Viveka means seclusion from defilements, a permanent seclusion from defilements. That's called Nibbana. This is the meaning. It's fully, this verse uh, s- teach many things. The story goes about the this Shamanera Tissa. So, so this Shamanera Tissa, uh, first story goes with the, I think, yeah, there was a Brahmin. Not start with this. There was a Brahmin, very old Brahmin. Everyone knows that the Brahmin does the chanting and teaching part in that time. So on the behalf of that, many people gives them gifts and food. But this old Brahmin didn't get much food or gifts, even the clothes. So one day, sorry, he didn't get the food and clothes, but he was a very uh, faithful, or he always honored to the Sariputta. He have a lot of faith in Sariputta and his teaching. So this Brahmin didn't get good food and clothes. That's why he not able to offer anything. But he have always mind. He have in his mind he always have a thought to give dana to Sariputta one day. But he never get good things, good good material or good food. So one day he got a small piece of cloth and and a food, uh, full meal. He got the full meal. Every day he not eat well, means he not get the full meal. That's why every day he eat a half or one time or like that. Even one time not getting full meal. So, but he always thinking about the giving to the Sariputta. So one day he got it full meal and cloth also. So this old Brahmin think that today I'm lucky to get the cloth and full meal. Means, means he is able to fully today. But he think, no, I'm lucky to get today a full meal and a cloth. So I will donate this to the Sariputta. So Sariputta see that thing that he always know that this Brahmin not getting full meal and not much cloth. So one day Sariputta came and this Brahm. So same day, sorry, not one day. Same day Sariputta came and that Brahmin take that all the meal, all full meal and cloth, and he want to offer. But Sariputta say that you can offer a half and a little bit portion. So he offer all and think that he he think in my he say to the Sariputta that uh, today I'm lucky that I am able to offer. So Sariputta happy and this Brahmin say to Sariputta that on this power of merit, the merit I did today, on the power of this merit, may I may I may I the attain the supreme knowledge as you got. Okay. So and he offered the food also to Arantha, so that I will tell her what happened. Mm. So Sariputta say ahang hotu. Okay. He only say ahang hotu. So that meaning yeah, maybe just like that ahang hotu. After that, that Brahmin after some period he died. After dying, sorry, after die he born again in Savatthi in the very rich man house, son of a rich man. Okay, so the name is then the son of that rich man is Tissa, the same Brahmina. Then this his father always offering foods to the disciple Sariputta. Okay, that that rich man always offering food to the Sariputta. So many times this child also cheap disciple to offering. This Tissa also many time um, offer dana to Sariputta many occasions. So at the age of 7, at the age of 7, this Tissa become a Samanera, and we can see that this Samanera also chief disciple of Sariputta at the age of 7. So in the commentary they say that Tissa have the three name because of the offering giving dana every time. So Tissa got the name Tissa the alms giver. Tissa the alms giver. So when this Tissa staying in Savatthi in a Jetavana monastery, so he many his relatives, because he's very rich, many relatives, and it's, giving him a present and offering. Okay, so Tissa very at first Tissa very happy because of him. Uh, Many offering coming. So sometime when Tissa goes with the monks, many food he get. So because of his karma, you remember that Tissa as a Brahmin give a food, even the whatever he have one time, only one time he got a full meal, even though he offered that one to Sariputta on because of that karma, he getting many offering, much food. So he can he can feed all the monks at, that in his monastery. So like that. But Samanera Tissa feeling very tiresome every day offering and present coming and relatives coming. So he feel very tiresome. So he go to the Lord Buddha and take his meditation subject, sorry, and he left for monastery. He left a monastery and he went to the forest. So whenever a villager come to the forest and offer him something, Tissa only say, "May you be happy, may you be liberated from this life." He say that Sukita hotu dukkha mucchatta. Dukkha mucchata. Sukita hotu dukkha mucchata. So like, may you be happy and may you be free from suffering. And he goes on his own way. Only these two words he said, two lines. So staying in the forest monastery, he ardently and diligently practiced meditation. And after receiving the Samanera and from being a Samanera, and after only 3 months he attended the Aranship. Okay, so we can see that he he, he say that to the Sariputta when offering as a Brahmin, that may I attain a attainment or a nibbana as like uh, you got the knowledge, the enlightenment as you got. So you can see within 3 months he attained Aranship also. But you only say these two words. You know, Sukita Hotu Dukkha Mucchata. Whenever he got offering many people and relative coming, but not much. So one time after the Vasa, Venerable Sariputta, accompanied by Venerable Mahamoggalana and other senior disciple, to visit the Samanera Tissa in a forest. So we can see many chief disciples of Buddha. Sorry, one chief disciple and Mahamoggalana and another senior bhikkhus goes to visit a Samanera Tissa. but with the permission of Buddha. But because of Venerable Sariputta coming out to village, so and that is a 4,000 bhikkhu with us, Mahamoggalana and Shramanera to visit this. So there are many people. All the people come because of Mahasangha coming and Sariputta also coming. So all the people says that uh, Bande, please give us discourse to favor them with the discourse. But Sariputta declined. Okay. Instead, directed his disciple Tissa. He said, "Not today. I am giving the talk, but Tissa will give." So all the villagers think, "Oh, Tissa only say, 'May you be happy. May you be free from suffering.' What he can teach? He never teach anything. He is just Samanera." So like that. But uh, Tissa was a Arahant that time. Only 7 years, but Arahant. So Tissa sit on the Dhamma seat. Uh, when everyone gives Dhamma, that is called Dhamma seat. And he gave a very long discourse. Okay, very long. In that discourse, Samanera Tissa explain about the five aggregates and six sense bases, Salayatana, Kanda, and Bodhipakya Dhamma. Okay, these three it teach a very good. Okay, and and finally he conclude with those who attain arahantship are liberated from all the ills of life and have perfect peace. All the rest will still wander about in the round of rivers. So the arahants already have a perfect peace, but those who not have enlightenment, they are still wandering in the round of rivers, samsara. So Sariputta praised this that expounded the Dhamma so well. So you can see that why he expounded Dhamma so well. The Sariputta have the quality. What quality? Because Sariputta can explain even the one word of the Buddha into big Dhamma. It's long Dhamma. He can explain one word. So he can explain the Dhamma very powerfully. Same like that Tissa did. Why? Because as he was a Brahmin, he he wished that may I be may I gain the same enlightenment, the same wisdom you got. And you remember that Sariputta also said that Anghotu. So because of the Arhant, that wish is come true. And so Tissa then, so village, all the villagers are very happy. But that all the villagers are divided into two groups. Some are happy, some are dissatisfied. So some are happy because Tissa gave a very good Dhamma talk and they felt very lucky. Okay, they felt very lucky. But some are unsatisfied because they say this Tissa is always with us, but he never teaches like that. So Buddha, with his supernormal power, saw that from Jetwana monastery, he saw that villages divided into two groups. Lord Buddha appeared in front of them and say that holy disciples, all the villagers, all of you are so lucky to have a Samanera Tissa. like a monk like this. It is account of his presence here that I myself, my chief disciples, senior disciples, and many other bhikkhus now now pay you a visit. Like Lord Buddha say that because of this, all the great disciples of Buddha and chief disciples, and even I came to visit you only because of this. So you understand how fortunate you are because of the Samanera Tissa. Okay. So you have Samanera Tissa, it means you are very lucky. Lucky in the sense that you have a great merits. And then Lord Buddha went back to the Jetwana monastery with the Sangha. So when Lord Buddha goes back, Lord Buddha chanted this verse, because a bhikkhu, whatever in a town or a village, should not live for the sake of gifts and offering. Okay, bhikkhu must not stay in the city or village uh, because of only for a gifts and offering. If a bhikkhu renounce all good prospects or worldly gain, if he renounce, if he relinquish the gifts and offerings or worldly gain and honor, and if he diligently practice the Dhamma in solitude, he sure attend the Arach. Like that Lord Buddha teach. So this is a very beautiful verse the Lord Buddha say about this. So we can learn that from this verse that we should not uh, be happy in gaining. Okay, so because this gaining is come out of greed. Whenever we entangle in the gaining, so we cannot find a peace because this gaining and the honor increase our ego and the pride. So then if it is like the worldly path is the gaining path, but we gaining the defilements in reality. Worldly gain is the path of the defilements. That's why we need a kaya viveka, must be secluded from all the people. Always try to be alone and like that. Not like I say that many people work in city and they have to be with the people, all the all the in society, but try to be secluded always. That is most important too, because the kaya viveka give rise to the chitta viveka. That's why I put the name of this group Chitta Viveka. That's the meaning of Chitta Viveka. This Chitta Viveka means the seclusion from the passion, seclusion from the worldly gaining. Okay. And the Chitta Viveka give rise to Nibbana. Okay. Chitta Viveka give rise to the Nibbana. So we can see that Chitta Viveka give rise to the Upadhi Viveka. That's the meaning of Upadhi Viveka. Nibbana. So we must relinquish the path of worldly gain. That's the Dhammapada story. I hope you understand.